Dear friends, this evening, palitan natin ng kaunti. Sa halip na ako ang mag-homily, mayroon tayong sharer. Wala kaming monopoly ng mga pari ng kaalaman at karanasan. Kaya ito isa sa mga na makikita din natin na synodality na tinatawag natin na lahat ay may kakayahan na makaranas at makapagbahagi ng ating pananampalataya. Ngayon, papakinggan natin si Attorney Aaron para ipakilala ang ating mag-share ng kanyang reflection at experience ng ating tema ngayong gabi.
Tonight, we are honored to have with us a truly inspiring individual, a passionate advocate for environmental conservation and the rights of indigenous peoples. Our inspirational speaker is the Executive Director of Angat Kalikasan Pilipinas, a non-stock, non-profit organization dedicated to protecting our environment. As a Philippine wildlife ranger and environment enforcer, she is on the front line of protecting our planet. Before dedicating her life to this crucial work, she enjoyed a successful career in the corporate world. A devoted wife and mother of 3 young girls, she exemplifies balancing family and purpose. A talented writer, she co-authored the book Under the January Moon with her husband. The proceeds from this book supports organizations that empower youth in underprivileged communities. An active volunteer, she supported initiatives like Climb and Camp for a Cause, which benefits the brave Estero Rangers who tirelessly clean our city's waterways. Also, a vocal advocate for the protection of the Sierra Madre Mountains, having campaigned against destructive projects like the Kaliwa Dam. Her insightful articles have been featured in respected publications such as the Philippine Daily Inquirer and Rappler. A true inspiration, a testament to the power of compassion, dedication, and a deep love for our Mother Earth. Brothers and sisters, let us all welcome Ms. Sara Abano.
Thank you so much for having me. Good evening, brothers and sisters in Christ. Today we reflect on God's Word as the source of hope, hope that shines through darkness, hope that sustains us in our struggles, hope that binds us to one another in love and solidarity. It is also the light that strengthens our resolve to stand for what is just and what is true. We gather here today not just to listen to stories, but to encounter God's voice in the voices of our indigenous brothers and sisters, including the Dumagat Remontados, also known as the Agta, the largest indigenous group in Luzon. Though they may not be here with us today, their journey, their struggles, and their steadfastness are living reflections of faith and hope in action. I am humbled to speak on their behalf, carrying their message of love for creation, justice, and resilience. So before I start, nagsimula na ako, I remember a story shared with me by a nun who is also working for the protection of rights of indigenous people. I remember her telling me about the indigenous people that she brought to Makati. So alam niyo naman ang Makati, it's filled with tall buildings. It's really, it's the cosmopolitan part of the Philippines, right? But one of the indigenous people approached her and asked, "Sister, masaya po talaga ang mga tao sa Kamaynilahan? Kasi isang araw pa lang ako dito, nalulungkot na ako at gustong-gusto ko na bumalik sa Sierra Madre na napapaligiran ng mga bundok, ng mga puno at ng iba't ibang mga yamang pangkalikasan. In hearing this, we are invited to pause and ponder. What does it mean to live in our current world? Napag-isipan niyo na ba? Is this really what it should be? Or have we gotten so used to how we are living our lives right now? What have we gained and what have we lost as we've moved further away from our first and real home, the natural world that sustains all of us? For as long as they can remember, the Dumagat Remontado indigenous people have lived as stewards of God's creation, protecting their ancestral lands with care and reverence. The Dumagats believe that there are spirits living in their midst. And for them, they call him Makidepet. That is their god, si Makidepet. Makidepet, the spirit of all spirits, the god of things, both living and dead, is present in everything. The relationship with nature is truly symbiotic, harmonious, and deep. A deep reverence for the oneness of life. These indigenous people belong to the world. They do not lay claim to it. They see themselves only as guardians of Makidepet's creation. For them, land is sacred. But these lands, their home, and the home to lush forests and vital watersheds have long been under threat. Mining, deforestation, and large-scale projects have encroached on their way of life. None, however, loom larger than the Kaliwa Dam. Have you heard of the Kaliwa Dam? Okay, so let me tell you more about it for those who haven't heard of it. A product of the Build program of the previous administration and funded by a loan from China to solve the water crisis in Metro Manila, this dam threatens to submerge 300 hectares of forest, displace 5,000 Dumagat Remontados, and devastate biodiversity, including the critically endangered species like the Philippine eagle. So imagine a dam being built in the parts of Rizal and Quezon. You might think that it doesn't affect all of us. Una-una, para mabother kayo, that loan in China will be paid by all of you, by your children and by your children's children, because it's just too much. It's such a big loan that we owe to China. Second, every time there's something happening in the Sierra Madre that one can matatanaw from Rizal or Quezon, it affects all of us in Manila. Do you know why? Because the Sierra Madre is the backbone of Luzon. Time and again, this mountain range has protected us from the super typhoons. Ang dami nating experience ng, or baka if you're online, you would see the hashtag Salamat Sierra Madre. That's how much we should be concerned, and that's how much it affects all of us, not just the Dumagat Remontados. While it is recognized that Metro Manila has legitimate concerns on water security, this should not be addressed at the expense of human rights, the environment, the Philippine laws and sovereignty, and our future. Experts such as scientists and environmentalists warn of catastrophic, irreversible damage to the Sierra Mountain Range and its ecosystems. The Dumagat Remontados are not selfish in their opposition to the dam, but they believe that alternatives exist that do not involve destroying the environment. While proponents of the Kaliwa Dam argue that the project is the solution to Metro Manila's growing water crisis and use this as a rationale for railroading legal processes, experts who have studied the situation have suggested several sustainable solutions that could ensure water security without the detrimental impacts. So we have science to back us up. We have science to solve our problem. We should listen to science than to our government. One solution is watershed forest conservation. Protecting and rehabilitating forests and existing watersheds like the Angat and La Mesa Dam is not only more cost-effective and practical, but will ensure a continued water supply for Metro Manila and nearby provinces for years to come. So meron naman palang solusyon, hindi lang ang Dambuhalang Dam. Repairing and improvement current infrastructure is also another viable and economic option. Exploring new technologies such as recycling water also presents another viable solution. Potentially 80 to 85% of used water released as wastewater could be treated and reused for agricultural or industrial purposes, saving the more precious water for essential use. And lastly, all of us here is the solution. Every individual, community, and institution, even churches, we all have a role to play in ensuring the sustainable use of our water resources. Our simple actions that avoid the wasteful use of water in our daily routines can collectively make a huge impact. So nasa atin ang tunay na pagbabago. Tayo ang solusyon. Facing such a devastating threat from the construction of the Kaliwa Dam, the Dumagat Remontados took a stand in the most profound way they knew, by marching for their lives. Last 2023, I'm not sure if you've seen them, but they were here. 300 Dumagat Remontados left their homes, the mountains, their loved ones, their livelihood, to march in the red bahag and tapis. For 9 grueling days, over 150 kilometers from Quezon Province to Manila. This alay lakad, a 9-day act of defiance, spoke of strength and desperation. I had a rare opportunity to join my newfound friends from the tribe in their alay lakad. Like them, I left my family and my young children, and I witnessed their resolve as we set out from General Nakar, Quezon. I felt the mood of mixture of determination and quiet hope. Tatay Silvino, a 70-year-old Dumagat elder, walked with a purpose that defied his years. Gagawin ko ito para sa aking mga anak at sa susunod na salinlahi, he said to the crowd, his eyes reflecting a lifetime of struggles and hope. As the march went on, the Dumagat Remontados' appearance spoke volumes about their strength and endurance. Their sun-kissed skin bore the marks of days spent under the scorching sun, their eyes filled with a blend of fatigue and unwavering determination. The growing weariness was evident on their faces, but their resolve only strengthened as the march continued. It was in their weary eyes that I saw the essence of their struggle. Hindi na sana kami dapat lumalaban para sa karapatan namin bilang tao. Ngunit lumalaban kami dahil iyon na lamang ang natitirang bagay na dapat naming gawin. While I had the opportunity to go home and recharge in between the marchers barely slept or ate since day one of the march, enduring separation from their families for more than a week, braving all kinds of weather conditions from scorching sun to heavy rain. I will never forget the words of one Dumagat elder who addressed onlookers and passers-by. Tuwing naglalakad po kami, tuwing iniisip ko ang gagawin sa amin at mangyayari sa amin at sa susunod na henerasyon, halos ako po ay naiiyak sa daan dahil pakiramdam ko, pasan ko ang Sierra Madre. Let me just show a reel from that 9-day alay lakad to be shown on the video. Thank you.
₱150 kilometro. Ganyan kalayo ang linakad ng mga katutubo.
Ang layunin ito na may pagtanggol ang kalikasan.
Hindi pa rin tapos ang kanilang panawagan. Patuloy pa rin nilang linalaban ang lupaing pamana at kanilang kinagisnan. Siyam na araw ang linakad ng mga katutubong Dumagat Remontado mula sa General Nakar, Quezon patungong Malacanang. Ito ay bahagi ng kanilang pagtutol mula sa pagpapatayo ng Kaliwa Dam sa kanilang lugar.
tuwing naglalakad po kami, kung maiisip ko ang gagawin sa amin at mangyayari sa aming susunod na henerasyon, halos ako po ay umiiyak sa daan. Dahil pakiramdam ko, pasan ko ang Sierra Madre. Dahil po dito, ako po kahit matanda na nagdesisyon na sumama dito, wala po sa aking nagpilit na ako'y pumunta dito dahil kusang loob ko po ang aking pagpunta, alang-alang sa aking mga susunod na henerasyon, sa aking mga apo, at sa ating Sierra Madre, at alang-alang sa taong bayan na kung saan gusto naming iligtas ang ating Sierra Madre. Kaya sana po, ako po ay nananawagan na sana po kami po ay inyong tulungan.
Naging emosyonal si Gloria Buendicho mula sa General na Quezon habang nag-aayag ng saloobin sa publiko. Nais niyang humingi ng suporta para sa kanilang huling alas na maisalba ang kanilang tahanan. Hindi naman napigilan maglabas ng sama ng loob ni Conchita Calzado, isang miyembro ng katutubo, nang magsalita ito sa publiko.
Naranasan po namin sa buong proseso ng PIC. Kami ay nilinlang, niloko, pinagsamantalahan. Kami rin ay sinuhulan at kami rin ay tinakot. Nilinlang po kami sapagkat sa simula pa lamang hinihiling po namin na itagalog sana ng MWSS yung nilalaman ng kanilang proyekto upang sa ganun ay malinaw namin maintindihan.
Hindi naging madali ang paglalakbay ng mga dumagat. Kinaharap nila ang mga matinding pagsubok tulad ng init, matinding pagod, gutom, lakad dito, lakad hanggang doon.
natin sila sa kanilang hangarin na protektahan ang pumuprotekta sa atin, ang Sierra Madre.
Patuloy na naglakad ang mga dumagat sa kabila ng kanilang kinakaharap na init, pagod, uhaw, at pagkagutom. Tanging dala-dala lamang nila ay pag-asa.
Hanggang Mendiola at hindi na nakalapit sa Malacanang ang mga nagpakilalang katutubong naglakad mula Quezon para iprotesta ang pagtatayo ng kaliwada.
Nang narating na ng mga dumagat ang Mendiola, agad silang hinarang ng mga pulisya.
Tado alas 5 ng hapon nang magawi sila sa Mendiola sa Maynila pero hindi na sila tumigil doon. Bantay sarado ng Manila Police ang daan papasok sa palasyo ng Malacanang.
Sinubukan ng mga dumagat na makatawid sa mga barikada ng pulisya ngunit bigo pa rin nila itong nagawa. Sa kasamaang palad, hindi na nakarating ng Malacanang ang mga dumagat matapos silang harangin. Hindi man nagtagumpay ang mga dumagat sa pagpapahayag ng mensahe nila sa Malacanang ngunit ipinakita nila ang tibay, tapang at puso sa bayan at kalikasan. Mahigit 300 katutubo, ipinaglaban ang kanilang karapatan, buong tibay na maglalakbay kapalit ang pag-asang marinig ang kanilang boses, buong pusong isinisigaw ang pagmamahal sa kanilang tahanan at kalikasan. Sana'y dumating ang panahong ang lahat ng kanilang daing ay gisingin ang puso ng bayang nahihimbing.
Ang layunin ito na may pagtanggol ang kalikasan, na may pagtanggol po ang Sierra Madre sa anumang mga nakaka-apektong mga proyekto.
So the entire time that I was in the march, I felt how wrong the whole situation was. The Sierra Madre is the backbone of Luzon. Time and again, the mountain range reduces the severity of storms, preventing them from becoming as devastating as initially forecasted. If this natural defense mechanism is vital for the safety and well-being of 64 million Filipinos living in Luzon, shouldn't it be the responsibility of these Filipinos to protect the Sierra Madre? Why are the IPs the only ones sacrificing and carrying this burden? This shouldn't be just their fight. It should be the fight of every Filipino for the environment, for every Filipino's human rights, for the future, for life itself. At least sa akin, I was able to go home in between the march. Nakakapahinga ako, nakakain ako. But for them, they stayed for 9 grueling days. To the point that we lost one of our Dumagat brother who had some respiratory illness to begin with. So it was difficult for him already. He left behind a wife and very young children back in General Nakar, Quezon. So that's how much at stake for them. And at the same time, I also met the police. We were actually even fooled. At first, we followed the policeman who led our way, thinking that they would help us, but actually niligaw kami. So there was even that part of the march that was really very disappointing because we put our trust on these public servants, but we were very disappointed. The Dumagats had risked their lives, marched a grueling 9 days, and finally neared Mendiola Street, as you saw in the video, which led to Malacañang Palace, the seat of the presidency. They made the march for a chance to dialogue with the highest office in land, to make their pleas heard, and to impart the importance and gravity of their situation. However, before they could even get close to the street leading to Malacañang, they were met with a barricade of armed policemen. As one of the marchers, I witnessed firsthand the stark contrast between the uniformed officers of the law and the Dumagats, dressed in their simple clothes and farmer's hat. They were first faced like a pack of dissidents, armed and ready. But it was clear that the Dumagats hardly had anything to carry, not even bags to bring the most necessities for their march. Totoo ito. Kung tayo, if we're planning to go on a trip like this or on a march like this, kahit kuwari tinawag lang tayo na pumunta sa EDSA to rally, I'm sure ang dami nating dala. From food, clothing, ang dami, kumpleto tayo para tayong pupunta sa out of town, right? Ready tayo. But sila, wala silang kadala-dala. As in, wala naman kasi silang tinatago sa kanilang bahay para wala silang extra. So they weren't able to bring anything. But they were still thought as rioters. Akala pa nga may mga dala silang mga armas. Pero kitang-kita naman na suot lang nila ang kanilang mga pulang bahag at kanilang pulang tapis. Despite the urgency and importance of their cause, despite their peaceful intentions, the seat of the Philippine government did not open its gates to receive them. All they wanted was for their pleas to be heard, but they were treated like a group of rioters. Their sadness for this turn of events could clearly be seen in their eyes. But their message was clear. They would return to their homes without the good news their families and communities had hoped for. Sila kasi yung pag-asa ng kanilang mga pamilya na iniwan nila, pag-asa ng kanilang mga kasama sa tribo. But they would not give up their fight to protect their land. The battle for their ancestral domain and their way of life was far from over. Just last September of 2024, the Dumagats united once again for Save Sierra Madre Day. So I hope after this talk, at least yun ang maalala nyo, every September, we celebrate the Save Sierra Madre, September 23. I was able to join them again as we headed towards the access road of the Kaliwa Dam. Alam niyo ba yung sa access road kung anong mga nagtatrabaho doon? Mga Chinese. Kung iisipin niyo na nagbibigay ito ng mga hanap buhay sa mga Pilipino, nagkakamali kayo. Isa po akong mahilig umakyat ng bundok. Hindi po ako NPA. Mahilig po ako umakyat ng bundok as my pastime. And one of the local guides that I met in one of my hiking told me na hindi nga pinapayagan ang mga Pilipino, sangkatutak na Chinese ang pinasok nila. So this is like a pogo pero nasa bundok at nakatago at pinoprotektahan natin sila. Pinapalabas sa mga balita na tayo ay galit sa China, galit sa mga pogo, pero pumunta kayo sa access road ng Kaliwa Dam. Nandoon, punong-puno ng mga Chinese workers constructing the dam already, even if wala pa siyang green light. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya pumasok sa legal na proseso. So, ganun po ang nakakalungkot na nangyayari sa ating bayan. Mayroon tayong sinasabi na we will protect the West Philippine Sea, pero dito mismo sa ating bayan, na dito na sa ating lupa, na sa ating mga bundok, ang mga Chinese na naninira ng ating mga kapaligiran. Hindi po ako anti-Chinese, pero ito po ang nakakalungkot na nangyayari sa ating bayan. Ito po ay isang katotohanan. But once again, armed police blocked our entire group. I found myself trying to peacefully negotiate with heavily armed men to allow us to pass and conduct our celebration for Save Sierra Madre Day. We were just simply planning to have a short ceremony, to have a tree planting event at the foot of Sierra Madre. Very, very peaceful gathering. But we were stopped. Actually, when I was negotiating with the police, parang biglang nag-replay sa akin yung buong buhay ko na ba't ako nandito facing armed policemen when back then I was in the corporate world. Parang hindi ito yung in-imagine ko in my life, but I was very firm in my commitment to do what I could during that time. I could hardly feel the danger I was in. That is until my senior citizen aunt who accompanied me calmly said she was ready to be gunned down anytime. So totoo yun. Parang my non-aunt who was with me, who wanted to accompany me, sabi niya sa akin, hindi ka ba natatakot kasi ready na ako magpabaril kanina. Sabi ko kay sister, tita naman, at least ikaw, tapos ka na sa mission mo, ako may mga anak pa ako, so hindi ako ready. But I didn't feel that danger because probably it was the adrenaline that was kicking in me. The grief of the tribe was palpable. How could it not be? For them, the land they have been fighting for is not merely a resource. But before I proceed, let me just show a snippet of what happened during that Save Sierra Madre celebration. As explained, it was halted, so we just decided to have a peaceful gathering somewhere far from the access road. So this is just part of what happened to replace the actual celebration that we were planning for.
Kaunting lupa, pwede pong ilagay sa bibig ang iba. Ang lahat po ay inaanyayahan. Pwede pong ilagay sa bibig upang ito ay magpatunay na ang lupa ay bahagi na ng ating pagkatao at ang lupa ay bahagi na ng buhay ng katutubo. Sabay-sabay po tayong magsubok ng tigkakaunting lupa. Yung po bilang paglilipat po sa wikang Tagalog, hinihiling po namin sa aming Panginoon at sa ating ding Panginoong lahat. Ang tawag po namin sa aming Panginoon ay si Makidepat. Natulungan kami sa matagal na namin ay pinananawagan, matagal na namin hinahangad na pangalagaan ang aming lupaing ninuno at ang inang kalikasan. Dahil lamang sa kapakanan ng aming susunod na saling lahi at sa kapakanan ng maraming mamamayan na umaasa umaasa sa yaman ng kalikasan. Hinihiling namin at tinatawagan namin ang banal na espiritu ni Makidapat na pangunahan kami, gabayan kami at parusahan ang mga dapat na taong parusahan, ang mga nagkasala, ang nagpapahalaga sa kanilang sariling interes ay siya na ang humatol. Ganon din hinihiling namin na ang espiritu ng aming mga nununo na nauna ng nanirahan sa mga lugar na ito, hatulan nila ang mga dapat hatulang naririto at wala man dito na may siyang kinalaman sa pagbubukas ng kalsadang ito upang ang proyekto ng Kaliwadam ay kanilang maisakatuparan sa kabila ng alam natin na ito ay labag sa batas, walang mga kaukulang permiso, walang mga kaukulang pagpayag ng mga kaukulang ahensya kagaya ng DNR at iba pa. Kaya malugod na hinihiling namin bilang mga katutubo na kayo na po ang humatol at pangunahan po ninyo ang aming laban. Ang laban namin ay hindi para sa aming sarili. Ang laban namin ay para sa susunod na saling lahi. Ang laban namin ay para sa kalikasan. Ang laban namin ay para sa lahat ng mamamayan. At nagpasasalamat po tayo sa Makidapat sapagkat siya po ay gabay natin. Alam natin na hindi tayo babayaan.
For the Dumagat Remontados, nakita nyo, kinain nila yung lupa. Ako hindi ko na kaya yun. The land that they have been fighting for is not merely a resource. It is their home, their identity, their dignity, and even their connection to God. Ang lupa ay buhay. And because it is life, they believe they must live in harmony with it, ensuring its preservation for future generations. There is indeed so much to learn from the Dumagat Remontados and indigenous people for that matter. To them, the land is not merely a resource, and for them, it is their God. Kuya Marcelino, one of the Dumagat Remontado leaders who has become a dear friend to me, spoke these words to us in tears during one of our conversations. Ang buhay ng mga katutubo ay kalikasan. Kung kami ay ililipat sa isang proyekto na pabahay, parang inilagay na rin kami sa libingan, sa nicho. Wala kaming makakain doon. Walang trabaho dahil wala naman kami sa kalikasan kung saan kami kumukuha ng aming kabuhayan. Sanay kami sa kagubatan, hindi sa pabahay. I recalled once being shown a small container used by the indigenous people when they fish for food. Actually, when you go to National Museum, you would see this. It was hardly bigger than a tiny pouch. Alam niyo yung mga modern day na bag na dinadala ng mga kababaihan na ang laman lang cellphone, lipstick, sobrang liit lang, di ba? Some credit card. Ganun kalaki yung ginagamit nila para manghuli ng isda. It puzzled me. Why use something so small to catch a fish? Shouldn't it be bigger to be able to catch more? But someone explained to me that they only fish enough to feed their family for a day, for all that is they need. Nothing more than that. So how I wish civilization could learn more from the indigenous people. Their profound connection to nature, their traditional knowledge on sustainable farming, their resource management, herbal healing, and sustainable production and consumption practices. So many of our problems today with climate change, with war, with poverty, with inequality, just boil down to our connection and relationship with the world. But more than that, what I've gained is the truest sense of our place in this world. The earth begs to be treated as a sacred place. We are mere visitors passing through. Our purpose has always been to sense, to learn, to grow with awe and wonder, to give, to love. And when we finally return home, I hope we'll leave no trace behind. Their words echo God's call for stewardship and love for His creation. As we reflect on the gospel today, let us ask ourselves, How can we be bearers of hope for those fighting for their homes, their rights, and our shared future? How can we ensure that our actions honor both God's creation and the least, the last, and the lost of His people? Let us hold on to the hope that God's Word brings. Hope that empowers us to act, to stand in solidarity with the most in need, and protect what has been entrusted to us. Let me just share a short poem that I made. I wrote this after my first ever encounter with the Dumagat Remontados. This is about the Tulaog Cave, one of the sacred sites in the Dumagat Remontados ancestral lands in General Nakar, Quezon. We call it the Tulaog Cave. Marahil ay muling sisigaw ang tulaog upang magbigay babala sa darating na bighating yuyurak sa buong isla. Ang unos na dala ng bagong sibilisasyon at kasakiman ay hahamon at gugulantang sa taglay niyang katahimikan. Ang landas ng pag-asa na way tahakin mapabagyuman o dilim, matuntun lang ang kuko ng liwanag kahit sa gitna ng takip silim. Sa nagbabani ang panganib at sakuna, huwag paghinaan bagus lumaban at magkaisa. Katutubong kinupkop ng lupain simula sinapupunan, huwag patitinag sa dagok na dala ng kamunduhan. Nasa puso ng bawat anak ng dumagat ang daan, gaano man kaliit at nakakubli ang siwang ng kuwebang pinananaligan. Di kailanman maaaring isuko ang lupang ninuno. Ito ay tahanan at nagsisilbing buhay ng mga katutubo. Tulad ng tulaog, gamitin ang lakas ng ating boses sa kagitingan. Para sa kalikasan, para sa katutubo, para sa karapatan. Ating kinabukasan, nakasalalay sa ating mismong pinagmulan. Maraming salamat po, katribo.